Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Jesse Flowers.
Jesse Flowers.
Torrance Cheek.
Torrance Cheek. Rodney Gaines. You guys have a seat. All right. Good to see you guys. I'm here for your second interview. So we're going to just get right into it. Torrance, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Torrance Cheek. I consider myself to be an IT professional. Recently got my A+ certification, CompTIA A+. I pride myself on giving great customer service, always being perfect fit for customers, always make the customer come back, basically. And that's about it for right now.
Okay, all right, thanks. And Jesse, how about you? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
How you doing?
Good.
Well, I'm also a world-class IT professional, and I also pride myself on customer service, and I would like to keep learning in this field, and I'm very glad to be here for this interview, and I love to learn. I love to learn new things, overcome challenges that I face within this career, and I look forward to working in this field.
Okay, great. Jesse, tell me a little bit about your training, a little bit more about your training in IT field.
Well, I have my A+ certification. Right now I'm studying for my Network Plus, and basically I have a general knowledge of troubleshooting computers, troubleshooting operating systems, Windows 7, Windows 7 Professional, you know, all those. And I have a general knowledge of, you know, ticketing systems and knowledge bases, and, you know, I know a lot about customer service over the phone and things like that.
Okay, all right, great. And Torrance, what about you? Tell me a little bit more about your IT training.
Like I said, I recently received my A+ certification. I'm working on my Network Plus and Cloud Plus and Security Plus in the future, but I'm back and forth between Cloud and Network right now.
Okay.
I have experience with multiple Windows operating systems such as XP, 7, Home, Vista. I recently learned Office 365. Good with troubleshooting hardware and software.
Okay, all right. Now, Torrance, give me some detailed information about your work experience in the IT field.
Work experience, not just really slim, like not being paid, but as far as experience, like I know how, I know how to do like software, add software, viruses, like power problems, which would be hardware, resetting the networks, stuff like that.
Okay, all right. And Jesse, detailed information about your work experience in the IT field.
Well, I would say my work experience is I'm very entry level right now, but I would say that I will have more work experience than a regular entry level professional would, basically because I come from the whole project, and I don't know if you know about the whole project, but the whole project, we have an entire network of growing IT professionals, and we're constantly communicating and we're constantly learning. And I pick up a lot from other graduates before me and graduates presently with me, and I just feed a lot of information off of them, and I would consider myself to have at least 6 months experience when it comes to the IT field.
Okay, all right. Jesse, let me ask you, why do you want to work here at the Department of Employment Services?
Well, I know that you guys do good work, and you know, this will be my first IT job that I'm applying for, and I just, you know, I live up the street. You know, it's an easy commute, and I know a lot about you guys. I know that you guys do a lot of work for the community, and I just want to really gain more experience on my entry-level position while I'm learning other technology certifications, and I think this will be a nice work environment to work in.
Okay, and Torrance, same question for you. Why do you want to work here?
I've been a part of Department of Employee Services since I was 14 with the summer programs, so like I know the environment a little. I think it would be an excellent place to work based off of my experiences already doing the summer programs, how it's set up, how it's organized, and I think that I could come in right away and contribute with the IT field right away.
Okay, all right. Now, Torrance, at this company, we like to think of ourselves as working as a team towards a common goal. How do you feel about working in a team environment?
I love working in a team environment because you can always count on the next person to help you with something that you, I don't want to say you don't know, like one person may be stronger than you in some area, you may be stronger than another person in some area. You guys can come together to get like each other on the same level. So working in a team is good because it helps you learn and it helps you teach at the same time.
Okay, all right. And Jesse, how do you feel about working in a team environment?
Well, I'm very versatile when it comes to working. I can work by myself and I can work on a team. But one of the positives from working on a team is basically, learning from each other, learning different work styles, work cultures, being able to adapt in different situations, being able to listen as well as teach, and as well as figuring different situations out. Like, okay, I might get this job done differently than the next person, and you can learn from how you do it and how from the other person do it, and just really kind of make yourself complete as far as working in an environment.
Okay, all right, good answer. Jesse, let me ask you, what experience do you have with showing people how to use a new operating system?
Well, like I said earlier, this is my first IT interview, and I have basically I have a lot of life experience when it comes to showing people how to use an operating system, because I've been doing it my whole life, but I've just recently started noticing that I have a general knowledge of operating systems before I even got my certification. So I would say that as far as experience, when I went through the training program for the Hope Project, I showed a lot of my peers, if they was working on taking their test for certification, I would show them that, okay, this is how you do this is how you get to the control panel, this is how you go to administrative tools, or this is how you go to event viewer. And slowly I was teaching myself as far as teaching others how to navigate the operating system.
Okay, all right. Torrance, same question for you. Experience showing people how to use a new operating system.
Experience on a new operating system, like I just take what I've learned when I've learned a new operating system and I try to adapt that to the person, and like just basically, like Jesse said, show them how to get to the places that they need to be, show them how to recover their files, show them how to get through the control panel, network settings, proxy settings, how to schedule tasks, and the basics that you really need to know when dealing with new operating systems.
Okay. All right. Torrance, have you ever had to work in an environment where you dealt with confidential information?
No.
No, you haven't? Okay, what about you, Justin?
Well, I have a job right now. I work for an organization called the Wider Circle. It's a nonprofit organization, and I don't do a lot of paperwork for the organization, but time to time I come across documents that I might not need to see. And when it gets to that point, I kind of just go to my supervisor, my chain of command, and I say, okay, this is, or if a lot of our company gets a lot of donations, like money, so money enters my hands a lot. And the way that I handle that is my chain of command, my supervisor, and I'll give them the envelope or the money and say, this came from this donor, and I need you to report this back to our founder, and it just goes from there.
Okay, all right. Jesse, describe to me what a top-notch customer service experience with you would be like.
Well, a top-notch customer service experience with me would be just, answering the call, making sure that customer is happy. If the customer was frustrated, I will make sure that the customer leaves happy when I'm done. What I mean by that is basically explaining to them what the problem was, explaining to them how to solve it, and documenting what I did to solve the problem, and making sure that the problem doesn't arise in the future.
Okay. And Torrance, same question for you. Describe what a top-notch customer service experience with you would be like.
Top-notch customer service with me would be great because like I said earlier, I pride myself on delivering extraordinary customer service. So dealing with a irate customer or frustrated customer wouldn't really be no hassle for me because I know how to get the customer to calm down, like take his mind off of like the problem and just have him relax while I fix the problem, and just be good so that if he comes across that same problem and if I pick up the phone, it's that same customer, he can be like, oh, this is torn, so he won't really be, having a bad time.
Okay, all right. Well, gentlemen, I have 2 more questions for you. Torrance, tell me about a time where you had to deal with a hostile customer or caller. How did you handle it, and is there anything you would have done differently?
When I was working at Macy's, Macy's, they always have like a lot of sales and stuff. So if this one customer, he came in, he was looking for like, I guess, a certain pair of shoes, a certain size. So he stopped me and was like, do you have these shoes in I think it was an 11? So I went to go check. I was like, we don't have none right here, but I could see if they're on stock and see if they should send some up for you. But he was like impatient, like, no, I need them now. I can't wait. I was like, sir, it's just going to take like 2-3 minutes. All I got to do is run downstairs. He was still like, no, I need them now. I need them now. So I just told my supervisor about it, and we kind of, like, my supervisor kind of like chatted with him while I ran and got the shoes. And what I would have done different, I mean, I think I handled it well. It was just like he was just stuck in that mode that he needed, like he was just impatient. But I think that in the future I can just maybe have more shoes out or something. I don't know. I think I did a good job.
Okay, all right. And Jesse, again, tell me about a time when you had to deal with a hostile customer or a caller. How did you handle it, and is there anything you would have done different?
Well, let me just go back to my job that I have now, working for Wider Circle. We do a lot of pickups from donors as far as furniture. People donate furniture to our organization.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this donor, and her mom had just passed, and she was trying to hurry up and get her furniture out of the apartment before the resident manager came and tossed it all in the trash.
Right.
And she wanted her furniture to go to someone else's home and be serviced to someone else's home. But when we got there, we have guidelines that we have to follow, and she didn't disassemble any of the furniture. And one of our guidelines is that it has to be disassembled before we can take it. So, we told her that, and she started like getting hysterical and, like crying and things like that. So what I did was I just politely just told her, okay, ma'am, calm down. We're going to get your stuff today. But in the future, you need to disassemble the furniture. So it was a dresser with a mirror attached to it. So I disassembled the mirror. I disassembled the futon for her. And, I just told her, ma'am, in the future, you need to make sure these things are handled so your things won't get thrown away.
Right.
And I think I handled it well because she gave me a tip, and we don't make any money off it.
Okay, all right, great. All right, fellas, one question for you here. How would you prioritize these situations from most important to least important, and why? The CEO can't print a document. No one in the company can access the internet, and the video conference equipment in the conference room is not working. So again, prioritize from most important to least important. A, the CEO can't print a document. B, no one can access the internet. And C, video conference equipment is not working. So let's start with you first, Jesse.
Well, I know that the CEO is the owner of the company, but that doesn't necessarily make him the top priority of the company at that moment. So I would say B, number one, because if no one can access the internet in the company, then it's like no one can do their job. So I would say that B would be first. The video conferencing equipment in the conference room is not working. I'll put that second, because usually that sounds like people need to do a lot of presentations and things like that to show, okay, these are the statistics that we're working with, this is what we're working with, this is how we're going to solve it. And if you can't use that, then you can't move forward as far as your projects are concerned. And I'll put A last because the CEO is the CEO. He'll find a way to print this document.
Okay, all right. And how about you, Torrance? How would you prioritize this?
I would also put B first, because if no one in the company can access the internet, then that means 9 times out of 10 no work is being able to get done. Next, I will put C, the video conference equipment in the conference room is not working, because like Jesse said, we do a lot of presentations. Most of the time they use videos, or if you're training someone, you use videos. So if your video equipment is not working, then it's kind of like a problem, and you'll have to like, it will have to be more work done versus it being like the equipment is working. And the CEO can't print a document. It would be the least important to me because the CEO is like very busy, so I doubt like most of the time like printing a document would be that important, because I'm sure it's other stuff that's like more important to a CEO than getting a document printed, and that could be handled easier. I feel that way, so that's why I would pick that last.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, those are the only questions I have for you guys. Do you have any for me? Let's start with you, Tony.
Do you have any concerns or like any concerns?
In reference to what?
About me, basically.
Well, I can't really get into that now, but you know, we still have other folks to interview, so you know, I really can't address that right now. Okay. Any other questions?
Like, I know, like, I've worked like under Department of Employee Service as a younger, but I know the times may have changed, so I just wanted to wonder, like, what's the work environment like now?
The work environment is definitely a fast-paced work environment. A lot of the work that we do is dependent on our colleagues, so we do work a lot in teams. But it's definitely professional, fast-paced work environment. Anything else?
No.
Okay. How about you, sir?
So you guys, can you tell me about you guys taking this off with?
Actually, I can't. I just work strictly in human resources, but I can, you know, find out what type of software, ticketing software that we do use, and get that answer to you.
Okay. Tell me, so you wouldn't know anything about the SLA agreement?
Nah, I sure wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys pride yourself on here at DOES?
Well, I mean, primarily putting people back to work. You know,
Okay.
that's our mission. That's what we do. So everything we do has to deal with putting somebody back to work. So even, for instance, in the IT department, you may not be dealing directly with our clients, but the work that you do supports everybody in this building, which helps people go back to work. So that's kind of what we stand for.
Okay. What is the environment of the help desk?
Environment and help desk. Those guys are, excuse me, again, you know, they're professionals as well. They definitely work hard. They, and again, they do work in teams as well, but they do a lot of work independently as well. Because again, you know, we would need 2 or 3 people to go service one computer. So they do a lot of independent work, but there are times where we may have a project going on or an event going on where we need a team of folks. But yeah, they're definitely independent workers in that department.
Okay. I mean, I think that's all the questions I have for you right now.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you guys.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have a good day.
Have a good day.
All right. Hey, running up.